Hey there friends. Wow, it has been quite a while since I have posted here on this channel. In fact, it's been about 6 months since I've posted here on this channel, and some of you might be completely new here and have no idea who I am or anything about this channel. So my name is Adeline. Zook is my last name, and I have been on YouTube for going on about 8 years, and I've actually in my YouTube life have had 3 channels. At one point I was posting on all 3 of them at once, which was pretty crazy. I had an editor at the time, and that was just, yeah, it was a little crazy, but I narrowed it down to 2 for quite some time. So I had this channel, which is called Adeline's Home, and then I had my main channel, and sometimes I would refer to this one as my second channel. And then my main channel was called Adeline's Kitchen for a long time. It was also called my name, Adeline Zook. And it's just gone through a lot of changes, mostly because my life, my personal life, has gone through a lot of changes, as a lot of you know. And so there's just been ebbs and flows with my job here on YouTube and content creation and all of that. So I don't want to sit here and ramble, because I do have some other fun things we're going to get to today. But just so that everyone knows and has an understanding of where things are with me, where things are with my channel, I am returning to Adeline's Home being this channel, and my main channel being called Adeline's Kitchen. I create 2 main types of content. One of them is around meal prepping, food preservation, and a lot of my Mennonite background roots that goes into just simple cooking. I also do a lot of healthy eating, cooking, those types of things on my main channel. And then here on Adeline's Home, I have a big side of me that loves DIY. I love creating cozy spaces and just inviting places that your friends and family want to be in, and that you want to be in, and that you can relax in. And so that is something I'm super passionate about, along with like anything crafty. And so that is what this channel is going to be more surrounded around. I've asked you all different times as my subscribers and viewers if you like a channel that has all of those types of videos kind of jumbled together, or if you like the 2 separate channels. And most of the response was, do whatever you like. So I am going back to this mainly because YouTube actually prefers when I stick with one type of video on one channel and one type of video on another channel. And so that's a lot of the reason I'm doing this. Another reason I'm doing this is because these 2 channels are going to have very different patterns when it comes to posting content. So my kitchen channel, Adeline's Kitchen, my meal prep, cooking, foodie, all food things related channel, is going to be posting mostly on Sundays and occasionally on Mondays, sort of at the beginning of the week. And then this channel is going to be kind of a toss-up, because this is going to have a lot more creativity put into it, which is something I enjoy a lot. And I would love to just have the freedom to create when I'm feeling creative and post whenever I have something ready for you all, instead of just having a rigid schedule, just because of the type of content that it is. So it really helps me as a creator to separate those 2. Every week I'm meal prepping, I'm doing some kind of cooking for my family, and I love sharing that with you all. So that's really easy to keep on a consistent time frame. And then this channel is definitely going to be more of the artistic flair coming out, even in the editing and creation of the content, which is something that is so fun for me to do. It's something I'm super passionate about, and you're going to see a lot more freedom going into this channel, in the sense of the type of content. I'm going to have days where I'm just showing kind of what I'm doing at home, but because I'm a creative person, there's always DIYs happening, and there's always things like that. So I'm not sure, I may do some type of video that I refer to as like cozy home diaries, or you know, homebody days, or things like that. I just love that type of content, and I'm just excited to just show you what's happening in our home and the things that I love, including, if you guys are around, have been around a long time, you're not going to be surprised at this, including paper crafting. So I love to do planners, and I also love to do scrapbooking and other paper crafting. So that will be something that will be interwoven, more than likely at more like the end of the video, because I know it's not everybody's thing, but I'm excited to just share those bits and pieces and have lots of DIYs and home decor and home organization coming up on this channel, and just taking you with me thrifting, doing thrift flips. I'm just really excited. And the point in time whenever I decided to sort of shut this channel down, life was really overwhelming to me, and I was just going through something, and God really had to work in my heart and my mind and just renewing me in a lot of ways. And I feel like I've been able to just really shift my mindset and been able to sort out how I want to manage these YouTube channels and how I want to manage the type of content as I've expressed. So I am going to enjoy sipping on my cup of coffee that I just made. It's decaf because it's actually like late afternoon right now. And we are going to jump into this video. We have a couple exciting things happening in our house. And so I'm going to take you along with us to do those things. And of course, we've got some home decor things we're going to be working on. Got some plans for this first video of reopening my cozy home. Okay, so I have some seriously rosy cheeks right now because I was just outside. I've got this hat on that says free range chick on it because today we are officially becoming chicken people. We're gonna go to my brother's. They're getting ready to move, and they weren't sure what they were gonna do about their chickens, and I said, well, we'll take them if you would like that. And they said, yes, sure, take them. So there's 3 chickens, and they do lay, and I'm hoping probably in the next little while we'll get some more. But this is a great start to our chickens, and our children are just overjoyed and can't wait. Do you have a dog kennel for us to put them in? Oh. They're gonna get fed so many yummy things, right? Mm-hmm. All right, friends, I promise I'm not leaving you hanging with the chickens. You will have a full chicken update by the end of this video. But I wanted to hang out in the kitchen a little bit today. I've been working on a few DIY projects out here, and to be honest, I started into one of them this morning, and I think I bit off more than I can chew for one day and one video. I wanted to make some full length curtains for these windows here in the kitchen. I've been just wanting to add very unique touches to my house. And of course, I'm a thrifter, so always looking for pieces that are unique and interesting. And I'm starting to learn how to create the unique and interesting myself. And so one of the things I needed was curtains that went from the top to the bottom. You guys might be around for a while and know that on my other channel, when I was posting home content over there, I did some like cafe curtains, which I'm not exactly sure the definition of cafe curtains. To me, these almost look like cafe curtains. I actually don't know if you can see in frame the tops, but I will show you guys little close-ups here in a second. So they have the little rings with the little clothespin pinchy thing on top that hangs onto the curtains. They look a little bit like cafe curtains to me, so you let me know in the comments. Does cafe curtains mean that it's hanging by rings, or does it mean that it's hanging halfway down the window? Anyways, So we made some out of flour sack towels, you guys might remember. And I knew that the closer we were getting to spring and summer, the more necessary it was going to become to put full length curtains in here, because as you may be able to see a little bit right now, the sun really does shine into this kitchen, and on really warm afternoons in particular, you want to be able to close curtains if you can. And curtains just make a space feel so cozy and inviting anyways. And there's another little thing I want to do. So I'm just gonna flip the camera around and just show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. I'm gonna start off by saying that I love the view from my kitchen, and I just feel so blessed that this is what I get to look at every day. It's quite literally like artwork in my windows. And with the seasons changing, now that we've been here a few seasons, it's just amazing to see the fields change. They were working on them this week and getting ready to plant out here. So I'm sure in the next few videos you will see some changes out here in the fields. So back to the curtain thing. So this right here is just a cut panel that I kind of pinched up there. It's not been hemmed. These you can see have been hemmed. And these tension rods are the same ones that I had before, but I just took them outside and found this really cool spray paint. It is called, I think it's antique or vintage gold. And it just was the perfect shade to work with the thought and design idea that I have. And honestly, the other thing I love about having curtains like this up here is, number one, they're not a super bold curtain, so you don't think that much about it. But also, I like the windows better without the bar going through the middle like they were with the halfway cafe curtains. So that part I definitely like a lot better, but the part that I did not anticipate taking as long as it did is hemming them. So I'm using a iron hem. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I'll pop it up here on the screen. But basically all you do is fold over the bottom of your fabric and you iron over it with the, hem tape. Hem tape, I think is what it's called. And you just put it inside of your fold and then you iron over it again, and it just kind of fuses the fabric together and you don't have to sew them. So doing some no-sew curtains, so simple, no pun intended. And it's just making it an easy process. It's just with this many windows, the process has to be repeated and repeated and repeated over and over to cover everything. So that is why I'm going to just take a little breather, work on it a little bit day by day. Also highly recommend, because I had looked into blinds for this kitchen and it was going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about $2,000 to get blinds, particularly because these are different size windows. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but these here are a lot bigger than those over there. It would have just been quite a task to match everything up and get the right size blinds and extra wide and not quite as long and just all that stuff. And I was able to purchase this material and the hem tape for about $55 for the entire kitchen. And of course the rods I already had, a little bit of spray paint, and found the rings in a major pack from actually walmart.com for extremely good price. I think it was $14 for all of these windows. So for a fraction of the cost, I am DIYing it and I love the way they look. I don't know if you can see, but it is sort of a tan material. It is a fairly good weighted fabric, as you can see, so it will help to block the sun but still let some light through. And I just love the print on them, the stripe. I think it's just really pretty. The next thing I want to work on, I actually have some laying right here, is I got this really fun idea to make my own vintage knobs. And I'm not gonna do it for the entire kitchen, but I want to do it for here because we see this a lot, especially looking from this angle. And because there are not very many upper cabinets in my kitchen, besides in the area where our refrigerator is, which many of you have seen. And I'm also going to do a set, I think, for up here. And I was looking on my iPad on Pinterest for a few ideas, so I'm gonna take you along with me. And I think I'm gonna take a pencil and try sketching on them before I start painting. All right, I'm not gonna lie, I love the way these look. It makes me want to hopefully find some fun vintage knobs at some point in my life and use them on something, whether it's a dresser or kitchen cabinets. But this is a fun little DIY for sure. Now I want to do all the knobs in the kitchen. I don't know. I was like standing back looking at it all and I was like, man, do I really want to do that? I love the imperfectness of it. Honestly, you could get way more perfect. I could have gotten out my little measuring tape and like really measured everything out, but I didn't want it to be that way. I wanted it to look imperfect. I wanted it to look hand painted. I just wanted it to have that charm. And so what I'm gonna do is give them a few hours, maybe even wait till tomorrow to really dry super well. And then I'm going to go over all of it with like a Mod Podge, or I might even pick up a clear like finishing spray paint. That way they hold up to us using them. But next, I actually have something fun to open up with you all. I've been waiting to do it on camera. And it is from a local or semi-local company to me called Honey Bee Creations. It's a Pennsylvania brand and it is a small business and they make 100% beeswax candles. I don't know exactly what they sent me, so I thought it would be fun to open this up together, but they have an Etsy shop that I will definitely leave linked below. They're a family business. I know that they have kids and they go to different events and have different locations that they sell their candles in Pennsylvania. So I have this box here and I'm just gonna open it up. I have a little knife here. I'm super excited to see what they sent me. I've been wanting to use more 100% beeswax candles, but sometimes it's just hard to know if they're good quality or not. And I was able to speak with the owner, I think his name is Andrew, and he was able to send me a bunch of really awesome stuff. Oh, this is so cool. So he sent me information on why to use beeswax candles, and you can either follow the link below or just screenshot this. I will just pull it up here nice and close for you guys. Oh, they actually emit a brighter light. That's very interesting. I love that. You can see it all inside. So you all know that I have thrifted some different candlestick holders, and especially in the fall and winter months, I just love burning candlesticks. So I am so excited to use these. Their packaging is absolutely adorable. The smell, like as I'm getting into these, wow, they smell like honey. It's so amazing. This is the 3" by 3" hex candle. I can't get over the smell. Oh my goodness! This has like it looks like the honeycomb on it. Then this is the 3" by 5". I am gonna set these up, I think, on some sort of a tray, and maybe a little bit later on we can test them out and see them looking beautiful. And you guys should definitely check out their Etsy shop. Something about the strawberries on this one. So cute. Love the colors in this one. And there's 2 of them. There's also a platter. Very cottage-esque for sure. The way that it's textured as well. We got a really great score today on our little thrift run. I like to swing in when I can, just because you know how thrifting goes. It's hit and miss, but today was a major hit. The other day I actually found these from a different thrift store. They are so cute and they are vintage. This one says coffee, tea, and they do have a very old seal on the inside. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but I just thought I would bring them out here to wash them up. I have to tell you about my absolute find of the day. So I recently got a used table that I'm going to redo. I probably will be redoing it in a video, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you all because there's something I want to do to it that I've done in the past to wood. And I've also found some chairs as well that will go with it, but I needed a bench. Well, lo and behold, found a bench, solid wood bench, great condition as far as like has the bolts underneath of it, so it's definitely well built bench for $9.99. I am just absolutely pumped about it, and I feel like it's definitely reminding me that I want to get that project done. I've been waiting for a couple of really good sun shining days to do it, and we are finally, I think, getting to the end of a lot of the rain we've had. I think I will be able to do it, and I'm so excited because old tables are really fun and they can be challenging, but the payoff is huge. I just sat them here in this tray in my coffee bar. Excuse my little prayer plant that needs watered, but I think they're perfect, and I could still put like tea bags that are individually wrapped in them. I don't know about that. I would trust putting like actual coffee grounds in them just because they're really old and the seals are pretty old as well, but I just think they are adorable. It almost looks like it could just start pouring down rain outside, and it might just do that. So I had to show you the few other things I found, sort of summer related, honestly. So I found this basket. This is so unique. There is no brand name or anything on it. It was $4.99, but it is an actual basket on the outside. It has a handle. It's very, very, very sturdy. The top also has a small handle right here, and it zips shut, and as you can see, it's insulated. Like, it's a true picnic basket. It's so cute, and we were in need of another cooler type thing anyways, or could use another one, and so this is perfect, absolutely perfect, also very cute. And I picked up a couple clothing items. Right now I am all about the overall trend that's going on and so I keep my eye out for myself a few pairs, but I actually found this pair, which I'm now just realizing how interesting I don't know if you call this a buckle or latch or what you would call it, but it sort of slides in there. That's really interesting. I've never seen one like that, but this is for my daughter. And it's super soft denim. I know that she's going to love wearing these out this spring and summer season, and I could even cut them and make them into short overalls as well. And then for myself, I found this oversized tee that has pansies on it, and I just think it's so cool. It seems to be pretty old, and it's made from that good old like t-shirt cotton material. I am really excited to wear this summer. It might seem kind of silly, but it just made my day. And then I have been trying to get better about checking out the tablecloth area and also like curtains. There's just a lot you can do with fabric that's there, and it's cheaper than buying it by the yard. But I found this tablecloth and I don't know what I want to do with it. I just think it's so pretty. We actually opened it up to see if it was stained or anything, and it looks very well kept, whoever used it. But it is this checked yellow color, and I just love this. It was $2.99. I could make an apron out of it. I could use it on a picnic table. We could use it as a picnic blanket. It's very, very thick. It's that old tablecloth material. Or we could just simply use it as a tablecloth in our house with the spring and summer season. I just was so taken by it. I thought it was beautiful. And I thought for $2.99, I can find some use for it. And if anything, it can be a paint drop cloth for $2.99. But had to bring that home with me. Also, I always do a smell test whenever it comes to thrifting. things such as this. Lastly, I found this adorable vintage book. First of all, the illustrations are absolutely adorable, but it's called A Hole Is Too Dig. I'm not going to read this entire book, but I am going to read 2 pages out of it. It is a children's book, and you have to see the illustrations. First page says, mashed potatoes are to give everybody enough. Yes, yes, indeed they are. And it also, the subtitle is a first book of first definitions. So essentially, this is just a book that has a bunch of silly little things in it, and I read it and I was like, I need this to read on a day whenever I need something to giggle at. Cats are so you can have kittens. This is the page I was looking for. Rugs are so you don't get splinters in you. And down here at the bottom, I literally laughed out loud when I read this and I was standing in the shop. It says, a floor is so you don't fall in the hole your house sits in. Pretty logical, right? Over here it says, rugs are so dogs have napkins. You get the idea. Silly little things, silly little things. And I think I'm actually going to, my mom, they're visiting right now from Florida, and she was looking at this and she was like, I want you to scan some of these pages so that I can use them, whether to make like greeting cards or whatever. I just don't have it in me to actually take this apart. You all know sometimes I use thrifted books in my scrapbooking and paper making things, but this one I just can't. It's too precious. But it would be fantastic to photocopy and then use some of the fun little things inside of it. And some of these, my mom says that they could be made into t-shirts, and I pretty much could agree. It says arms are to hug with, toes are to wiggle, ears are to wiggle. It's just so cute. Anyways, I'm sure that most of you didn't come to this video to read a vintage book with me, but I just had to share. All right, so I'm sitting here at my desk in my office / our schoolroom. We've had quite, I don't know which way you can see, but quite the color fest going on. All I'm gonna say is that we have discovered alcohol markers in our house, and it has truly been an all-encompassing new project for us. We love alcohol markers. Anyways, side note. So the girls just brought in some eggs, and it reminded me to fill you all in on the rest of the chicken story. So we got to those 3 chickens. Obviously you guys went with us, and it just so happens I was going to put on line like asking anybody locally if they have chicks or if we could just get a few more, and I suddenly had a memory that a friend of ours a couple of months ago, or even just, it might have just been like 6 weeks ago or so, said, oh, hey, we are hatching chicks from our chickens and we will have chicks this spring. So I went ahead and got a hold of her, and lo and behold, literally this week they are like ready to go. Like they have their full grown, or not full grown, they're adult feathers, and they're good to be outside with other chickens and those kinds of things. So the day after we got the chickens from my brothers, we went and got 3 more chickens. So now we have 6 chickens, and the names have changed up a bit, but last I remember, we have Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail. And then we also have Marilla, Anne with an E, and Diana. So if you know classic books, you will definitely know those character names. So they've been really fun. The adult chickens, or the ones that are laying, all lay either green or blue eggs. And so I made sure to pick out the smaller, younger chickens to be ones that will lay brown eggs. So in about 2 to 3 months or so, we will have a mixture of egg colors, which is really, really fun. And then something else that I've recently discovered and I wanted to show you all, and we are just wrapping it up. I actually need to print off the title. We've been starting to do lap books, and that's something that my mom did. So if you guys don't know, we homeschool. I mean, obviously, if I'm sitting in my office / the schoolroom, you probably guessed that. And she did lap books, and basically you just take a file, like a yellow file, and you open it up and then you fold it in to where it becomes like this thing that you can open up. And I'm going to put a title on these, but they are mostly done. And I combined Christy Beasley, which is a new discovery for me. Oh my word. If you are either a homeschool mom or someone that loves paper things like planners and scrapbooks and those types of things, you need to look up Christy Beasley. Her website It is a subscription base, and when you subscribe to her, you get access to like, I don't even know, probably hundreds of files. It is a massive library of many, many things that you can print off, and you have access to the files. But one thing she does is unit studies. So I combined the idea of the unit study and the lap book together, which they're very close neighbors. But she does not necessarily suggest making it into a lap book. I just did that myself. And so all of these chickens are from her, and lots of papers and things, if you all can see. I think if I go this way. If you all can see, so here they designed their own chicken coop. They answered questions about chicken terminology, parts of the chicken. I need to put staples in the top. I'm showing you all a bit uncompleted. The life cycle, the anatomy of an egg, and then we did a bunch of books from the library. So up here were some books that we got, and then also picture books down here on this flap as well. And then this here, I actually photocopied out of a book we read, and it's just the embryo development. And then we also did flashcards with different types of chickens, and that's something that's on Christy's site. I think there was 12 in the pack, so each of my 3 daughters got 4 of them, and we made a little pocket for that. And then we did a fun little picture day with one of their chickens, and so they each got to take a picture with their chickens and put that in here. So lots of fun and lots of learning, and we are just really enjoying becoming chicken people for sure. And I can't wait to keep you all updated whenever the second succession of chickens start laying. But I think I'm gonna wrap up this video here. I really want to get it up and live for you all. I'm so excited about reconnecting in this way. I cannot wait to hear your feedback on how you feel about the way the channels are. I mean, I did a little like soft announcement on my now being called Adeline's Kitchen channel, and I got tons of great positive feedback. And so I'm hoping to hear from you all in the comments. And if this is the first video of mine that you are ever seeing, I would love it if you subscribed, stuck around. I love connecting with you all here on YouTube. I am a long form girly. I have discovered that I am a long form content creator. I just don't have a drive in me to make short form content. I've done it a little bit here and there on Instagram, but my heart is definitely with YouTube and doing more long form content. It's just my style. I guess I've just done it for years, and it's also the type of content I enjoy watching as well. I would rather watch long form content than short form content. But anyways, I am so glad that you stuck around, and I am glad to be back here on this channel in this way, and I'll see you all in my next video.